So you've worked hard, you've saved all your shekels, and now it's time to buy an ice fishing machine, and you're wondering if you should get an ATV, a snowmobile, or a snow dog. So we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of each, and I'm gonna let you know what I think you should get by the end of the video. First of all, shout out to Jay Buchanan for this question. He gave the question in one of the last Q&As with the fishing guide, and when I saw this question, I thought maybe it would warrant its own video, so that's what we're doing here today. Right away, let's talk about ATVs. So the pros and cons of an ATV. One of the pros of an ATV is obviously you can use it 12 months of the year. So that could be a huge selling factor for some of you guys. And if you have the means to use it 12 months of the year, then by all means, I think an ATV is probably the right move because you don't want to have to buy a snowmobile and an ATV. Why would you do that? If you just want to get an all-in-one machine, the ATV is for you. But then we got to get into the cons of an ATV. So one of the cons of an ATV is that you're going to get stuck. Flat out, you're gonna get stuck in the snow and the slush. When it gets too deep out there, you're not gonna be able to go where all the snowmobiles go. You gotta keep that in mind. ATVs may not be the answer if you just want solely just an ice fishing machine. Another con of owning an ATV for ice fishing is that crossing pressure cracks is not quite nearly as easy as a snowmobile. I've seen it too many times. Guys are trying to cross a pretty simple cross to crack. There might only be maybe 1 foot of open water. But if your front tires go down, if you're not going fast enough, your tires go down, you could end up hitting your face right into the handlebars, or you can go right over the handlebars. Crossing pressure cracks on ATVs is always a sketchy ordeal, where a snowmobile, you can cross pressure cracks with your eyes closed. Now I know the guys that are ATV guys are gonna come at me in the comments saying, I can cross cracks no problem, I can get anywhere a snowmobile can go, but it's simply just not true. Especially, we're not talking to you ATV guys. If you've got an ATV already, you're probably not even watching this video. This is for the people that are looking to buy an ice fishing machine, and I'm just giving you the pros and cons of an ATV, so those are just things to consider. Now next, let's talk about the snow dogs. I think snow dogs might be for the guys who live in the city. Just from what I gather from the pros and cons of owning a snow dog, the snow dog pros are easy storage. You can put them anywhere. You can put them right in the back of your SUV and they get the job done, quite frankly. But it's definitely, I think they're more catered to maybe the city guys that don't have ample parking. They don't have room for a trailer in their driveways. So there's definitely a time and a place for snow dogs, but for me, I just kind of think you look like Paul Blart Mall Cop riding around on those things. It's like the wintertime Segway, basically. You're gonna be limited by speed. You know, snowmobiles are gonna be lapping you out on the ice. Sure, speed isn't a big thing, but speed and comfort is definitely something to consider when traveling out on the lake. You know, you don't wanna be riding a snow dog 10 kilometers or 10 miles out onto the ice. The guys that own snow dogs will probably say they can do it, but I just wouldn't wanna stand for that long riding a machine. It just sounds too much. I'm not sure what the big draw is on the snow dogs, to be honest. Maybe you can put it in the comments and let me know like what is so appealing about them, or what are some of the pros that I've maybe missed. But you know, to me, it can't be the price point because I've priced them out, and for how much it costs for a brand new snow dog, you could get 2 used snowmobiles that you're gonna get years and years of use out of, reliable use out of too. So not the price point. And I don't know what else to say. Let me know in the comments what it is about those things that everyone's raving about. So last but not least, let's talk about snowmobiles. I think if we're talking about just an ice fishing machine, you're not worried about using it 12 months of the year, the snowmobile is the answer for you. Reason being is you can get a used snowmobile for under $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and you're gonna get years of good use out of them and not be breaking the bank to have a reliable ice fishing machine. And the type of machine you're really looking for is something with a fan-cooled engine. I know some of the new machines out there now, they have radiators in them, so they're not necessarily fan-cooled. They don't need the snow to cool their engines. So if you have the budget to go to a new machine that has these hybrid engines with liquid and fan cools and radiators, that's great, go for it. But if you are on a budget, used snowmobiles are a dime a dozen. You want a used snowmobile with a fan-cooled engine, studded track, 2-up seat, and if it has a rack on the back, that's even better, but a lot of that stuff you can add after the fact. So that's my answer. The snowmobile is the ultimate ice fishing machine, and I think that's all we got to talk about today. Okay, we'll see ya.